Hello, I'm Diane Harvey. I had an interesting experience. No, I had a traumatic experience. And I thought I'd tell you about it because it has some implications both for me and maybe for other people. And I'd like to know what you think. Usually, when we have a traumatic experience, an unexpected experience that we consider to be negative in our lives, we're told by others, get over it, move on, get through this as quickly as possible, get back to your normal life. I would like to suggest that there might be a better idea. And the better idea that I'd like to suggest is that when this happens to me again or to you, that we use this as an opportunity to find out what our current life is like and maybe as a clue as to where we might go in the future. So think of yourself as a hot air balloon tethered to the ground. Along comes the traumatic experience, surgeries, house burned down, someone gets ill, someone leaves, and all of a sudden the tethers that keep your hot air balloon attached to the ground are cut, except perhaps for one. And so you're still hovering close to the ground, maybe erratically. Other people say this is not the time to make decisions, this is not the time to think about it, this is time to get back to your normal life. But when would be a better time to think about what your life is all about, to get a different view and maybe even cut that last tether for a bit and hover above your normal life? Get a chance to have a bird's eye view for a moment of where you're going and what you might do, and whether you want to continue on the path that you're on. I'm so convinced that this is an amazing opportunity for all of us that I wrote a book about this. The book is called Soul Surgery because my traumatic experience had to do with a surgical experience. It could be soul in flames if your house burned down, but for me it's soul surgery. And my suggestion is that these are learning experiences that we could well take advantage of, that might in fact change the direction of our lives. First thing we have to do, or the first thing I had to do, was to ask what the experience was all about, what it might mean. Now some people think that there are no meanings in experiences like this. They just happen, you get over them, you get back to work. I don't think so. I think that these experiences make us intuitively more sensitive, that we see things in different ways, that we hear and think in different ways, and that this new relationship with life might in fact allow us to reflect on our being, our personal being. So how did I do that? Well, I'm a teacher of philosophy, so naturally you'd expect me to go back to the great minds that I've been trained in. And I did do that, and in fact, as a teacher of philosophy, I figured this isn't going to be too hard, I'm going to do this rationally. And so I spent a couple of months doing this rationally, and I discovered, fine, I've got rational answers, but I had no motivation to do anything with them. It wasn't a rational situation. It was going to involve emotions. It was going to involve my sense of what is my spiritual connection to life. And it needed time. Meanwhile, time was passing and people were saying, why don't you go back to work? And I remembered being a teacher in the classroom where students were writing in their final exams in their blue book saying, your time is up, you have 2 or 3 more minutes, finish what you're doing and pass in your book. And now life and everybody around me was saying, your time is up, get started. And I realized that I was like the freshman that says, I know more than what I had time to say. Except in my case, I was the freshman saying, I'm working on it, and I just don't have time. I can't tell you the answer right now, but it will come. And so I discovered that you can't rush these sorts of things. You can't rush creativity. You can't rush healing, that you need to take time. And this is what I'd like to suggest to you, that perhaps if you read Soul Surgery, the book that I wrote, which has a subtitle, A Story About Transcending Traumas, that you might find that the next unexpected event that you consider to be negative might in fact be the unexpected event that will change your life in a positive direction. So read it, see what you think, and if that's the case, in the book there are some suggestions of approaches for this which might be useful to you. I'd be interested in knowing what you thought. I'd at least be interested in knowing that you took a look at the book and considered moving forward through these unexpected events.